Britain hasn't had a ski jumper since 1929.
I'm going to be a ski jumper.
He's going to break his neck.
Hi, I'm Christopher John Farley, a senior editor at the Wall Street Journal. I'm here with Hugh Jackman and Taron Egerton, the stars of the new movie Eddie the Eagle. Thanks for coming here. Appreciate it.
Pleasure, Chris.
Okay, so of course people know you from all sorts of movies. Your look has changed. I mean, how did you adjust your look for this?
One of the reasons I was so keen to play this part was that he was such an interesting, different guy, and he looked so different, and it was an opportunity for me to kind of try and morph a little bit.
I mean, a lot of people say, wow, you look so different and all of that, but actually, even more than that, I think any actor knows it's not easy to pull off, you know, like a lead in a spy action movie, but to then go and pull off a role that is charming, winning, goofy, funny, is a very, very fine line to play. Like, each one in its own would be hard to pull off, but I can't think of any other actor who could pull off both.
Wow, so you should hire him as your hype man.
You could do it, Hugh.
That was unconvincing.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I'll rehearse
you're
it
a better
better.
actor than that.
The time to start jumping is when you're 5 or 6.
I heard you were a champion, so I was thinking
Maybe you could give me a few tips.
Give up? There's one for free.
Well, of course, the movie's about a British ski jumper who was in the 1988 Calgary Olympics.
Yes.
It's really more about hype than performance, and yet there's a charming, inspirational story there. And you play his coach. This is based on a true story, but the coach you play is fictional. How does that work?
Well, I think in truth, probably from what we heard, Eddie had no full-time coach, probably picked up pointers from a number of different people. So as a screenwriter, you have a choice of having 11 characters work with Eddie, but it doesn't really work for telling a story. So yes, my character is completely fictional, and we tell a story, a secondary story to the main one, which is of two friends, two outsiders bringing out the best in each other. But really, the most important stuff that is in the movie is true.
And did you do any actual ski jumping for the movie? I mean, did you actually have to train and get ready, or was this old green screen special effects, you know, stuntmen in your place? Didn't even turn an ankle. Now, tell me a bit about that.
No green screen. We had actual jumpers do it.
Yeah.
So in order to do that, I mean, we say in the movie, you know, you have to be doing it every day from the age of 5 or 6. And that is true. It's simply not safe to do unless you're well practiced. But we had a team of incredible ski jumpers who did the jumps for us. It was so amazing to watch them. Green screen is minimal. There's very, very little. All the stuff at the top of the jumps you see is really us at the top of the jumps. But when it comes to actually shooting the jumps, they get some crazy Austrian dudes in to come and do it instead.
Yeah, one thing I find interesting, there are actually sort of two main themes in this movie. I mean, one is about championing the underdog. But there's also sort of a critique of the whole culture of celebrity. People who are sort of celebrated for not really doing anything. Which of those two themes do you think is more important in this movie?
Well, first of all, Eddie, I really don't think Eddie was going in there to be famous. He went in there because he had a dream of being in the Olympics, and he really wanted to ski jump. He still loves it today. He jumped 2 weeks ago at the age of 52 for charity on a 90-metre jump. He loves it. And I assumed when I was watching Eddie that he was a bit of a prankster, a bit of a, you know, but actually, no, he took it really seriously, and, you know, he was aware that he wasn't the best jumper of all time, in fact, the worst of the Olympics, but he really loved it. And I think that's why the story is inspiring. You see something beyond someone just seeking 15 minutes of fame.
Yeah, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with American AAU culture, but there's a whole culture of parents pushing their kids to succeed in basketball or other sports.
Yeah.
And if you see the parents, they go a little bit crazy. And this movie kind of functions as sort of an anecdote to that, because it's not about winning, it's about something else.
I think that's a really great message, actually. You know, all of Eddie's, you know, Eddie has lots of incredibly admirable qualities, but they're not prowess or great skill. You know, I mean, he was a very good downhill skier, but not ski jumper. But he's someone who doesn't take no for an answer, is very, very determined, is very passionate, very, very passionate. I think that's a great message to send to kids, that you don't have to be the best at everything, and actually it's about the journey rather than the destination.
Taron has a talent and a confidence that I certainly didn't have at his age. And when we were working together, I really marveled at it. I mean, if the director was here, he'd tell you the truth. That when Taron was on, he was very rarely past a first take because he's just, you were so in the groove and it seemed so effortless. Me, on the other hand, 11, 12 takes, often because I was laughing so much. But we had
that is true. Yeah.
We really just had a great time, and you know, I think in the end, acting is kind of like dancing. You can't act on your own. It's a conversation, it's a dance, so you have to be able to meet and find a way to sort of get on, and we just did, which was lucky.
You guys both have big sequels in the works. You got a sequel for Kingsman, The Secret Service 2 coming out. But you have the Wolverine 3 in the works. What stage is that? I heard maybe you have a script already, or what stage is that at?
Oh yeah, no, we're well into that stage. We're working on it, and I'm doing my best to be very vague and fuzzy on that question. How am I doing, Chris?
You're doing great. Yeah, I
Thank
think it's very vague, very fuzzy, so mission accomplished for you.
Thank you, buddy.
So the movie is Eddie the Eagle.
Yep.
Hugh, Taron, thanks for coming to the Wall Street Journal.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thanks very, very much for having
Thanks,
us.
Chris.
Thank you.